Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's 3 a.m, I need an upload, we're doing this. It is going to be Schalke taking on Mad Lions for game number 2, and spoiler alert, if you're watching this today it's uploaded. I've got 9 different games to be actually writing script for, so this is probably going to be the last upload for a couple of days while I sort out that. Anyway, we're going into Champion Select here at 3 a.m, and we see Schalke are on red side, Mad are on blue side, and I'd expect some focus towards the Hecarim and the Lila from both teams, as it's what they've been using to realistically get success with their two rosters. Now, in game 1, Schalke beat the Mad Lions, and Mad go to the blue side for game number 2. Now, Kalista, Caitlyn, all big OPs that may be banned out here by Schalke. Obviously, they're the big ones to remove, and there's a Hecarim ban from Mad Lions. Kind of expected considering the success that Gilius has found on that pick. The Shen also being banned out by Mad, and the Thresh from Schalke is the response. Both big OPs on this patch. I'm not surprised that they're being removed. And that's the Tom Kench ban targeted towards Dreams. They're removing some safety from the Schalke bot side. And that kind of hints to me that Mad want to play something like, say, a Lilia in the jungle, or a very good pick composition champions like the Ashe, maybe even the Lilia as stated. And the Lux ban coming out from Schalke I like, because Mad have been known to go to that Sona Lux bot lane, and Lux is slightly stronger on this patch. She's probably one of the stronger mage bot laners in the current meta, so I like that ban coming through. But we see Humanoid returning to his Akali. He lost on this in game 1, it did not look good at all. Hopefully he gets a bit of better performance in this game, as there's going to be a big change up as the Senna and the Orianna picked up for Schalke. I like this Orianna into Akali. It's a strong matchup for Ori, and realistically should win the lane. Senna into Ashe is kind of the trend that we've been seeing a lot, but Nautilus paired with the Ashe, there's a lot of pick potential with them two champions. Obviously you have the Ashe Arrow, and then you have the Depth Charge and the Dredge Line combination from the Nautilus to lock you up indefinitely. So I love this bot lane for Mad. And it's kind of this combo that's been in the meta for a while now. That being said, we see Schalke heading towards the Braum, as one of the big defensive supports has been removed from the field in the TK. So why not go with the other big one in the Braum? Obviously, that'll provide some protection against this Ashe, this Nautilus, in terms of locking up your backline and getting access for the Akali, which is kind of what they want to do here. But I do realistically like this pickup for Schalke, even though there is no real counter engage with Braum. Essentially, he's there to play a bit more defensive rather than look to engage and get kills for the team. Now, bans for the second phase are coming through now, and Schalke have removed the Graves in the GP. Obviously, junglers are still open, as Sejuani has been removed by Mad, and we're waiting on their second ban of this phase. I expect maybe a top laner ban, maybe a Jace, something along those lines. Renekton, there we go, that's actually a huge ban because it is very powerful. And a carry-oriented top laner. Now, I'd expect maybe a Camille here for Odoamne, or something that's carry potential in that top side map. He's been performing on these very good carry champions, and Sion, though it isn't a pick that you'd expect to carry on, he did have some good performances, and actually it is going to be the Camille that we discussed. He likes to play carries, that is a big carry, and you can set up some big ults with the Orianna as well, because you can hookshot into the backline with the Ori Ball on top of you and lock them down and out of a fight to land a massive shockwave. That being said, Madeline's will probably go for something that can play well into the Camille, and why not go with something that can just take her out of the fight. She looks to isolate targets with that Hextech Ultimatum, Maud looks to isolate targets with the Death Realm. I like this combo coming out for Maud, the Madelines here, as Maud can realistically play very counteractively to this Camille. And something that's also very good at being counteractive is Lee Sin. Strong early game jungler, obviously can roam with high potential and will do work. That being said, it's time for Mad to actually play the Skarn attacks as the Scorpion is locked in for the jungler Gilius, who we haven't actually seen a Skarner out of him in ages, and this is a huge pick because in recent patches it got buffed. It gets a lot more stacking of damage from his Q, and the shielding is slightly stronger as well. Now, Mad Lion's comp, if we look at it entirely, they want to engage with the pick potential of the Ashe and the Knot, lock you up indefinitely so that Lee Sin and the Akali can get into your backline, and with the Maud taking out the frontliner of either the Skarner or the Braum from a fight, it essentially means they're going to win. Anyway, Mad versus Schalke is right now, let's get into the game. And on to Summoner's Rift we go. Now this is going to be a very interesting start, as we do see the line of skirmishes set up here. You'd expect the Schalke lineup to go towards the River Spires, get them controlled for the Skarner so that he can start getting this early control of the river, which will allow him to actually get the Scuttle Crabs early on and essentially have the power that way. That being said, we do see bits of vision in the top side river for Schalke as well. It means that they can essentially get some control to see whether or not the Lee Sin is actually clearing that wave. And as you can see on the side of your screen, Neon's record on Senna is 6-0. He's undefeated on this pick in summer. And that is a big thing to say, considering the fact that Senna is something that you wouldn't consider to be a Neon pick. Considering the fact that in the last series that Schalke played, he had Dreams playing Nautilus to perfection, and they were going for more of this Ashe pick poke comp that Mad have actually gone for in this game. It's a surprise to actually see the Senna in Neon's hand here, and hopefully he performs to perfection, as an early Dredgeline is going to land. We're going to see a bit of trading back from the Braum and the Senna, looking to proc the Braum passive on the Naught, but it does not come through there, and essentially the Schalke lineup comes worse for wears. Instead of the fact the Ashe and the Naught were the targets for Schalke, and they just don't pump out enough damage early on, whereas the Ashe with that Q can just rattle you down with the volley. Once she hits level 2, it's very easy for her to do that. Now, Abadage returns to place the same ward that was down there earlier on, so that they can keep track of the Scuttle Crabs in the top side of the map, and make sure they track Shadow in the early game to stop him make an early play. Now Lee Sin's probably will look for a level 3, maybe level 4 gank, maybe towards mid in this game. Ori quite immobile. I'd actually expect probably the Camille gank onto her, as she's already got the push in lane, and if the Maud's able to bait out the hookshot early, realistically he could get an early gank. But Shadow's come down to the bot lane. The Dredgeline is going to land here for Kaiser, but he's going to just back away. Going to just go back into the brush. He levels up to level 3. That gives an early advantage for the bot laner of Mad. and the dredge line is going to miss here, but the damage onto center is so much, and it's going to force the flash out. Exhaust was also used by Dreams, and he's forced to flash away. Lee Sin coming though round. The Sonic Wave does not land, and the center snare does not land either. So it is flash and flash on the Naught, as well as his ignite burnt for flash on the center, and flash and exhaust on the Braum burnt as well. So trades of summoners across the board. Obviously with the jungler flash being burnt, and a big trade actually here in the top side. Maud's being put down low. Turret shot lands onto Odo Omni. He did not want to tank that, and he's just going to be forced away. Gilius is hovering around. He's looking to make a play here onto the Maud. He's going to look to run him down. He smites a minion for a bit of extra speed. Lee Sin's come in though, and he's looking to re-engage and pick up first blood for the Mad Lions. He's going to come up here, clear up the wave as well, keeping his top laner's lane in a good enough position in order to essentially get all the farm that's currently crashing into the turret. Obviously, Maud does have TP. He'll return to lane and get himself some CS back. Now, as a whole, Mad realistically got very lucky with that overreach from Gilius there. And Gilius is a player who does look to overengage normally in plays. He's kind of the main, rocket, I would say, for Schalke. And he tries to get the players to attach onto him and essentially protect him through his oversteps. But that play there, just lovely positioning out of Shadow to react to it. Obviously, we saw him in the bot side map, forcing the flash onto a play that he's unable to secure. He then immediately backs, gets up to the top side and secures first blood. So obviously that is a big thing to do, and to have knowledge of where the enemy jungler is phenomenal, and realistically will allow this Mad Lions team to actually propel themselves forward, as yet again we're seeing a lot of damage being put down to the ADCs in this bot side of the map, and Shadow and Gilius has come down here looking for plays that could be made. Shadow has not been spotted, whereas Gilius has, who's just hovering around here. Shadow knows that Gilius is still in the area and is looking to re-engage here, and he's coming over the wall. TP coming in from Mad, and there's a lot of disengage as Braum is going to be the first casualty of the fight as he gets hooked up and killed by the Ashe, who is level 4, not level 6 yet. And once she hits level 6, we should be expecting some big plays out of this Ashe, who's already got an aggressive bot lane. Humanoid, though, is stepping forward, and he's forced to E backwards. But Nautilus is here as well. We could see a re-engage from Mad Lions here. But with them spotting the Nautilus going over the Blast Cone, highly unlikely any more plays come out in this bot side of the map. And Mad Lions actually stopped taking the Drake there, which is, I guess, huge for Schalke, because it means that they can actually set up for this play as the blue buff transfer is complete and Shadow hits level 6. Skarner is probably very close to hitting his level 6, which is going to be the point of the game where all of the Mad Lions laners are going to have to be playing extra safe, because they do not want to be engaged on and pulled away from safety. And as such, this Skarner will be a threat, and probably when he takes these Krugs, he's going to hit level 6. Now, we are at almost 8 minutes, and usually that means Rift Herald for pretty much everyone. And we see the Nautilus and Lee, and the Braum, the Senna, and the Skarner all rotating up to this top side of the map. Mad Lions are committing one less member to this play. Instead, they're giving over so much CS to this Ashe, and as a whole, that is very useful for her, as Hookshot is going to spot out the Skarner, who is not going to go into the pit straight away. He isn't going to blast cone in. He's instead going to help his bot lane, put in pressure on this Mordekaiser in order to allow them to rotate down to this Herald and secure that for them. That being said, Lee Sin is going to land a Sonic Wave here. He's going to be pulled back by the Skarner into a Shockwave. He flashes out of the Shockwave and is going to be stunned by the Braum passive. And he's still managing to dodge away as he uses a control ward to leap over the wall. And he keeps himself alive. Lovely movement out of Shadow there in order to keep himself healthy and not going back to the fountain with a grey screen. It's a big thing to do as a jungler who's playing Lee Sin this well. He's probably the most mechanical Lee Sin currently in the LEC. And you can sing his praises all the time. And that was a very phenomenal play from Shadow. Now, the only good thing, if you're Schalke here, is that you forced the Lee Sin back to base. He was forced back to base. Obviously, burning his flash was a main reason, but because of the fact that he was taken really low, he could not stay around to contest the Herald take that Schalke was setting up for. And as such, he goes back to base, heads down to his bot side map and secures this Mountain Drake instead. So it's a trade of objectives overall for both teams. In my opinion, this favours Mad because Drakes are worth more in the long run in comparison to Heralds. They give you short-term cash injections. I should say. I can't say my words right now. As we are seeing a big trade in this top lane as Maud is just chunking Camille down here. She is going to use her Hextech ultimatum into the hookshot, flash forward from the Maud as the Dawning Shadow is used to give the Camille a bit of shielding to get her out to fight. TP is coming in though from Abadage. He's looking to chase down the Maud who has no flash. Shockwave's going to land. Hookshot is also going to be used to flash in and stun him up. That is going to be a kill over to Schalke as they get themselves onto the board. Now, as a whole, that is big for them. And even more important is the fact that in the bot side of the map, Ashe was forced backwards, as we are going to see a re-engage here from Lee Sin. He's caught out Abadage here, and he's using them resonating strikes and shockwaves to almost kill him, but Ori manages to get away. The arrow is going to land onto Braum that was aimed at the top side of the map, so good unintentional block there as hookshot is not going to land here for Camille. Kali is forced to run away as she did not want to be grabbed by Skarner there. Bot side of the map, Mad Lions secure the first turret gold, which is huge as that is something that with the Herald on Schalke, they will actually looking to secure for themselves instead. Though I don't know where they would realistically have dropped the Herald, considering the fact that all of the Mad Lions turrets are fairly healthy, all with 4 or 5 turret platings in total. Bot side has the 5, the 4 on the other 2. Now, Gilius will pan down here, looking to set up a play in the spot side map, which is Mad Lions' point of attack. It's their strongest side of the map as well, and nothing can realistically come there. Nautilus and Ashe playing so far back with Lee Sin hovering around, but this Akali is forced into the Shroud, is going to use her E to get away. There's the Gunblade that she's just managed to pick up, used to slow down the Skarner, which is going to be a huge thing into later parts of the game, as Herald is going to be dropped mid, and the importance of the Gunblade is it makes Akali actually feel like a champion, because she can actually start to step up into waves, using her 9-point strike and actually doing damage. The Ashe arrow is going to go wide here, and we're actually seeing a fight. Braum putting up the shield, keeping his team safe. The Sonic Wave is going to land, but no resonating strike from Lee Sin to follow it up. And Mad Lions just going to go play the map, take this Garner Spire, and Akali is going in forcing the heal out of the center with that play, and Skarner has been cut out here. He's kicked back into Nautilus's depth charge, and that is almost certainly a dead Skarner who's forced to flash, but the Akali is in a right position at the right time and just picks him up with a 9-point strike. And as I was saying, Gunblade on Akali makes this feel like a champion. She gets healing back from her Q. You can use that more effectively with fleet footwork. It also allows a bit more movement speed and healing from that, and makes this feel real good as she's returning back into the fight. Shockwave is going to be used to reveal the Akali, but it is not going to be enough. She is going to pick up one kill in this fight. She's looking for the second onto Abadage, but Abadage is just running her down and using the command attack to execute her. And Lee Sin, though, has come down here. The Sonic Wave is not going to land. Or he could look to turn this again onto Lee Sin, who has no real engage unless he lands that Sonic Wave. But Braum comes down and Lee Sin backs away. He's going to be forced back under his turret, and this turret is more than likely going to fall with the destruction of the Braum Ruin Page being used. Ash Arrow has been casted here. Oh, this is a replay of the last fight. The Ash Arrow went nowhere near. I forget why we're seeing that. Anyway, we are seeing in the bottom side of the map Death Realm being used. Camille using her passive to get that magic shield, but Akali is around here. That Hexac ultimatum has been challenged, and this is pretty much a dead Camille. She has no way of getting out from that, as the Kali picks up the kill. Gets herself 3 kills in total for this game, though she has died once to that Ori, which we just saw. She's starting to feel really powerful here, as she can essentially be a big lane bully now into the Ori if she can get inside of her. But obviously Ori is this big counterpick to an Akali. And the reason being is when the Akali puts down her W and goes into the Shroud, it essentially means that she's in camouflage. You can reveal her if she's being rooted or stunned in certain ways. And the Shockwave is very good at doing that, because you can essentially put it realistically in the middle, as we actually see it engage here from the Mad Lions. The arrow went wide and Depth Charge was just used, but no more engage here from Mad. And Schalke looking to run down here. Skarner is quite low, but he's going to probably be the front point of this fight, as the re-engage coming in from Mad here. Schalke here, as the Braumel lands, they pull in Kazi, who is looking to execute Odoamne, but he gets his Camille passive, keeps himself alive, and gets the kill. Schalke getting back into this game, which is big for them, as they are down 2k gold, and it's probably going to grow even more as Mad looking to take this top lane tier 2. Akali is here on her own. No response from Schalke just yet, but we'll take a look at this play again. Essentially it starts, Ash Arrow goes wide. Odoamne's hookshot gets cancelled by Northook into Depth Charge. He's forced to flash, and then it's Skarner into Kazi. Kazi wins it out, obviously, because attack speed Ash is very broken. Then it's Schalke running it down the river. Flash from the Braum burns Kazi's flash. Then it's the exhaust, slowing him down into Braum passive stun, and Camille just walks in. Hi, my friend. I didn't expect you here. Hookshot, hits the wall, and kills her off. Big plays coming out from Schalke there to respond to the aggression of Mad, and that essentially allows this Ori a bit more free time in the spot wave in order to actually chunk this turret down very low. Probably all fall in the next wave once it crashes into the turret, because Ori can pretty much clear this with ease. Mordekaiser cannot stop her unless he overgreed here. Ori, there's no way he's gonna die, and with Braum and Camille hovering around in the jungle, more than likely is gonna go down. Nautilus is down here though, and maybe Mad looking to make a play. They have got the Ashe coming down as well. That's the Shockwave onto Mod, who's taken Abadagi into Death Realm. It's a 1v1 battle. The Ashe Arrow is going to be used onto Brum, stunning him up, but Lee Sin's coming in, the resonating strikes him down. Dawning Shadow was used, and Hexit Ultimatum has been challenged, but that is a dev charged up Camille, and that's a double kill for the Lee Sin. Brum's on his own, that's a kill for the Ashe, and now it's a re-engage as Skarner pulls Kazi in, but does not want that target as he has no more damaging friends to kill the Ashe, and that is going to be a triple kill in this fight. Maybe even more, as that is Nautilus chasing down Skarner. Ashe is there as well. That is a dead Scorpion. If that Senna was not there, the Q keeps him alive. Flash is burnt from Senna after the dredge line is flashed, and Mad are slowly but surely picking up the tempo as we watch this fight again. Ori put into Death Realm. Brum's shield does not do much against that. Shockwave's used to keep Mod away, to keep Abadagi healthy enough. Ashe Arrow actually was able to hit Camille as Lee Sin just goes aggressive here, looks to fight and hits all of his Qs in this fight, essentially allowing for the executes of the two big targets of Schalke, and from there it's just very easy for Mad to just chase him down. And yeah, big plays coming out from these two teams as we look at the gold difference in the bot wave. 2k between the Ashe and the Senna, and that is a big note, and more importantly there's a 2k in the jungle as well. That's big, considering the fact that Schalke have been played the early game quite well. They played very aggressive and got a few big kills, but after that, Mad have just put full control into this game, and they're also going to pick up this mid lane tier 1, and Schalke have 2 turrets to the 4 of Mad. They're down 5k gold now. It was 2k the last time we checked in, and they're down 3 Drakes once this one falls. They're putting Mad on sole point here. Camille has been caught though. She is though being fairly safe. Ashe is not going to be using the arrow yet. They're just looking to siege here, and it's a slow response from Schalke. Only Brum's rotating. Skarner's eventually, but he's staying in mid because he knows that Shadow's still around. And that's just Mad getting a free turret on the side lane and then pulling back to safety and using the recalls to buy up and possibly look to set up vision in this topside map, because Baron spawned a minute ago, and realistically that is the next big focal point for the next 4 minutes until the Infernal Drake spawns, and we may see a kill here as Shockwave has to be E'd by the Akali. She's gonna go back to the cannon minion using the perfect execution first proc onto Abadagi. Ashe Arrow is going to go wide. Dawning Shadow is going to be used as well. That is a perfect execution to safety as the stopwatch is going to keep Humanoid alive. That's a kill though for Eliminate in this top half of the fight as he solos out the Skarner, and he's just on his own facing 2 members of Schalke, and that's a double kill over to Lee Sin, who was fighting on the other half of the fight. Snare is going to land onto Lee, but the Akali's come in, the Gunblade's going to land, Senna is almost certainly going to die, and that is a big team fight win for the Mad Lions, picking up 4, and more than likely are going to look to turn towards the Baron here, with the jungler dead on Schalke's side, though he has just respawned after the last fight, and that is a big win if you're the Mad Lions, because you can now essentially keep your split push bullying alive, with Akali going into the topside map, bullying like she is right now, Humanoid zoning away Dreams and Gilius from this Baron, and she can threaten the top side, Maud can threaten the bot side, and Baron's alive on this Mad Lions side for the next 3 minutes. Anyway, we watch this play again. Abadagi thinks he has a drop on Humanoid. He does, but Humanoid's just got quick fingers to dash around in this fight. Using the first perfect execution proc, to get a bit more advantage, to use his second half to get himself away from the engage from the Skarner. And in the top half of the fight, Maud's just able to solo down this Skarner, and with his defensive stats that the Oromne has, he's able to stay alive and keep Camille and Senna interested long enough in him to essentially stop them from fleeing. Ash Arrow, though, as we return to life, has to be flashed by Ori, and as a whole, perfectly done that team fight there by Mad. As we may see more as Humanoid's looking to execute Oromne, who's using his Hextech Ultimatum to challenge Kali. Dawning Shadow is going to be used over the top, and this is more than likely a dead Akali, giving over the shutdown gold to a Senna, though Ash picks up a turret in return, and the Madlines don't leave that play empty-handed, and that is big for them considering the fact that they've got Baron on 4 members now and can realistically look to play the map. That's all they want to do. They want to secure these turrets, the standing gold on the map. Now that they're on Soul Point, that's going to be Soul in less than 2 minutes now. And that's basically their contention point. If you're Schalke, this next Drake is going to be the big fight. No ifs, no buts. You need that Drake in order to stop the stacking of the Drakes. You need it to keep your hopes alive, and more importantly, you need to then win the team fight afterwards, because Mad will not give this up easily. They're in the driver's seat. They've got all of the gold, they've got all the items they need in order to fight you. They have all the vision control in this bottom half of the map. And with this Drake spawning in 30 seconds, that lone ward there is the only TP flank position for Schalke if they want to fight. Now, it is only Infernal Soul that Mad will be getting, but that is a lot more damage. It's a lot more poke damage with your abilities, and it's a lot more threatening to this Senna who wants to realistically play very safe and far away and not be bursted out quite quickly. She's going against an Akali who's made it into the backline pretty much every fight that she's been in, and whether it's through choice or not, as Infernal Soul goes over to the Mad Lions, she's realistically been put into danger quite a lot here. And you look at her KDA 1, 2 and 3, her bot site in the map with Braum dying 3 times has been targeted quite heavily by Mad. And with Ash being on 2 1-on-1 and Lee being on 5 0 and 3, you can kind of tell where the Mad Lions have put their pressure. They wanted to keep her down, allow the Akali to scale up to get that Gunblade. Once she gets Gunblade and Zhonya, she's just a killing machine, and essentially Mad can win out the game from that. Now, we take a look at the itemization here. You look at the Mad Lions side of things, you have 2 players who have paid the Skarner tax in the Ashe and Lee Sin. The 2 champs that have the bounty have the big protective item. That's going to be huge against Skarner because it stops him from chasing you down. And I'm kind of surprised that we don't see it on Akali yet. Though the Zhonya's does sort of the same thing in terms of stalling the fight out and keeping yourself alive. I much prefer as Lee Sin's going in deep. He's going behind the turret. Shockwave's going to be used, but the Ash Arrow is put down directly onto Abadagi, and he's locked up by the Nautilus, and that's going to be 2. Make that 3 kills for the Mad Lions in this fight. Camille looking to isolate the damage onto Oromne, but Oromne gets away with his life, and the Mad Lions pick up 3. They're looking to end this game here, taking down this inhibitor, and Mad with just Schalke with just Camille and Braum have to make a last-ditch attempt here as TP comes in for Oemne. The Mordekaiser returns to the base of Schalke, and that is going to be game number 2 over to the Mad Lions after beating this Schalke lineup very easily. And I'm starting to think that game 1 was more of a fluke than an actual skill matchup where Schalke won, but that game was clean if you're humanoid, clean if you're shadow. I don't think he'll be getting Lee Sin anymore in this series. He played to perfection, and that essentially meant that Mad were able to play the map a lot more cleanly, control the objectives, and with Kazi stepping up in that bot lane to secure the picks, with Kaiser engaging on the Nort, Mad Lions pick up game number 2 with ease, and that's gonna be it for this video. It's a bit of a tired video, more than likely, in terms of my approach to this, and that's gonna be it. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new here if you want to, and I'll see you guys with my next Anarchy analysis, because that's all I've got to do now is 2 big scripts for 9 games. Alright, peace out.